So what are the editions available within SQL Server? The primary editions within SQL 2012 are Enterprise Edition, Business Intelligence Edition, Standard Edition, and Developer Edition. Enterprise Edition is just that. It provides all of the features and all of the functionality available within SQL Server. It also provides scalability. How many of processors SQL will support, how much memory can be given to an instance of SQL Server. It includes much of the different fail-safe or redundancy, including the always-on technology used within SQL Server. Business Intelligence Edition is new to SQL Server 2012. It's one step down from Enterprise Edition, which means it has many of the features and the functionality but doesn't provide all of these. Standard Edition was available within previous versions of SQL Server. However, one thing to note is in other editions or versions of SQL, there was Workgroup Edition. Workgroup Edition is no longer available. Workgroup Edition is now Standard Edition. Then we have Developer Edition. Developer Edition provides all of the features and all of the functionality of Enterprise Edition. However, it is not meant for resale or for embedding in a production environment. Developer Edition is meant just for that. It's meant for development and testing, and the licensing has changed somewhat also, in that it is licensed by developer now. So if you buy a Developer Edition and it's being used or installed for multiple developers, one license per developer. Other editions that are available are SQL Express. SQL Express has been available since SQL Server 2005, and it's a free download. It includes the Relational Database Management System. What SQL Server Express provides is the ability to be able to create applications or databases that can be used and embedded within an operating system or within the application. It has limitations. One of the primary limitations is the fact that SQL Server Express will not support a user database larger than 12 gigabytes. Which means once the database hits 12 gigabytes, then the Relational Database Management Engine will no longer be able to access that database. It stops and says you now need to pay for a license. That is per user database. That's not all of the user databases. So you could have 10, 20, 30 user databases that are under 10 gigabytes in SQL Express will still work. We also have a new version of SQL Server, edition of SQL Express. This is SQL Express LocalDB. SQL Express LocalDB is meant to ease the requirements and to make it easier to embed the database engine into applications for an operating system. So it doesn't require all of the resources necessary. So it makes it easier for users or developers to be able to create an application and embed SQL Express LocalDB Edition to have it deployed to different workstations or servers. There's the Web Edition of SQL Server, and it's just that. The Web Edition is meant for ISPs. So they're able to provide instances of SQL for who they're hosting for. And then we have the Parallel Data Warehouse. Now, Parallel Data Warehouse was available in SQL Server 2008. And what it provides, it's not just the addition of SQL. You will not find this shrink wrapped on the software store. It provides the hardware and the software. And it is meant for high transactions, great deal of transactions, data warehousing. It's meant for reporting. It includes a turnkey solution for all of our data warehouses or for a data warehouse. And finally, we have SQL Azure. SQL Azure is Microsoft's offering of a cloud-based relational database management system. SQL Azure requires a subscription in order to access this. Now, one of the questions that often comes up is, why would I ever use SQL Azure? Why would I need that when I can buy my own edition of SQL and then not be dependent upon Microsoft? Well, consider that you've created an application for an organization that is literally worldwide. Now, you're going to have to try and decide some way to get the data centralized? Are you going to use batch processing? Are you going to use replication? Or you could simply say, you know what we're going to do is we are going to host our database in the cloud with SQL Azure. As long as they have an internet connection, they will be able to access that database.